I hope you're at least okay. Guys, I'm late again. I'm sorry. Honestly, this is as early as I could start today, so. It's such a meme. I had a smoothie today. Strawberry. Strawberry. And then I also have some, oh, I don't know. I don't really know what else I have here. Oh yeah, I got some Tootsie Roll things. Tootsie Pops? Is that what they're called? Tootsie Roll Pop. I have two of them. So that'll be my candy fix for today, my sweet fix. I have cherry, and I think this is like blueberry? Grape. My favorite one was the pomegranate ones, and I don't know if they make them anymore. Wait, let me see. Because they'd be like really hard to find. Do they? Oh my god. Okay. Do they still make the pomegranate Tootsie Pops? They do! They have to be in the 18 flavors mini packs and assorted boxes. Okay. Hi, George. Hello, hello. I'm doing a deep dive into Tootsie Roll Pops right now because I want to see if they make the pomegranate ones still. They were discontinued? They were so good. Let me see. Okay. Flavors assorted caramel chocolate fruit. Suckers lollipops. What about Fun Dip? Have you given up on them? No, I'm probably gonna get some soon. At least I hope so. I'm just kind of waiting. No. Well, it's because I have a couple of these right now. Just kind of like left over. And they have wild cherry ones too. Wild mango berry. I wish I could have that. Still trying to not be allergic. Let's see. Do they have a root beer flavor? Yeah, they used to have a root beer flavor. I remember that. Yeah, they don't sell the pomegranate one anymore. That was my favorite. I freaking love pomegranates. It's one of my favorite fruits, honestly. Peaches are my favorite because they're easier to get here, but pomegranates are my all-time favorite. I had a fresh pomegranate in Hawaii, and then I was like, GG, I want to grow one so bad. Hi, Chaotic. They're really finicky, though. I have to get like a better one. Wait, maybe I can look up. Aha! Plus the new 6 flavor that alternates among pomegranate, strawberry, watermelon, and lemon flavored pops. So they still have them, but they alternate. Oh, hi, Chaotic. Did I say hi? Yeah, it feels like they don't make them anymore. Whenever because my family, like, bastard child vibes, right? So I would have to drive like 3 hours each way, every other weekend in order to visit my mom and the other side of the family growing up, and holidays and stuff like that too. It was a lot of driving, but we would stop at the gas station and I would always get a pomegranate Tootsie Pop. It was like what I got. And it's one of my like nostalgic things that I used to get all the time. But I don't think they sell the single flavors anymore. That's so frustrating. Do they have root beer still? Let me see. Let me see. I think it's in the mini pops. Mm. They have pomegranate in the mini pops. They have cherry, green apple, strawberry lemonade, apple pie, blue raspberry, grape, tropical fruit punch, mango cream, uh, bubblegum orange cream, orange banana birthday cake, limeade, strawberry cotton candy, and root beer float. Are you giving out candy tomorrow? Yeah. At least I hope so. It really depends on like how many people actually show up. Oh, hi, type 2. Hello, hello, how are you? I don't know if any animals are really gonna be in today. I have everything kind of blocked off. Siri might come in a little bit later. You never get anyone anymore? Me neither. Me neither. That's why we got like a lot of the Tootsie Pops. We're gonna go get more candy today just in case, but I have no idea if people are even gonna like come in. So I'm eating it. I'm just eating some while I can. I think we already have enough. I might just go get some like in the day tomorrow. I don't think our store is gonna be closed or anything. Oh, Siri's here. Mm. There's a wealthier neighborhood that's pretty close, and people just go there, and it's pretty sad. Hi, Siri. Siri. He's coming in. Maybe he'll come say hi, pups. No. He is here. I've kept it closed all day. Man, because I don't want him messing with anything you shouldn't. The trunk and treats are big here now. That's true. That's really popular here too. Especially like financially with what's going on. A lot of places who do trunk or treats are so people have their cars and then they just kind of have their trunks open and they decorate them for like Halloween and then the parents are dressed up by the cars and they hand out candy to people. That's like a bigger thing. And people can go to more of them and the kids get to dress up more. It's like a whole thing. Uh, but there's a lot of food drives that are happening with it this year too. Yeah. Okay, okay, that's not too shabby. I sometimes forget that in Europe it's not really a thing. It kind of makes me sad that it's not as popular because, I mean, one, it is kind of odd to, hmm, kind of go to random people's places and just get stuff. But I don't know. I feel like it's okay. I didn't really get to go trick or treating a lot. I think I only went like once. Hmm. Well, my sister's work did it, and the sheriff's department also a couple of the churches. Oh, George, that's really nice. I like that. I don't know. This year, I mean, it's kind of hard to participate if you don't have kids or anything. Uh, for a really long time, I used to volunteer at the kids' museum, like in high school. The children's museum, that's what it's called. And we would have to have different themes. So one year I was Princess Leia. Another year, I think I was oh shoot, what was I? I think I was like a generic witch. And then I did it one other year. I think I was like a fairy or something. It was really fun. It was fun. The Princess Leia costume was really awkward though. It was very awkward because it was like completely see-through. And I wore white, but I was so pale. So I had to like, I don't know. I didn't understand you had to wear tan instead of white. So when you were in person, it was fine. But when it was like, when it was on camera, it was not fine. And the museum made me like put on a tank top underneath it. And I was like, that's valid. That's valid. Because I didn't know. It was with my theater department. Ah, it was such a meme. Anyway, core memory unlocked. I totally forgot that I signed up for that. Yeah. I don't know if I am gonna dress up tomorrow. I already like, I think I told you guys what I'm wearing already, but it'll be fun. It'll be really fun. Mm. I'm also looking at the fruities, the Tootsie Rolls that are fruity. And people buy like huge packs of them. Yeah, let me share a link. You do not need to get me any of this, by the way. I just like to show you guys. That's what I've been kind of lurking on while we're chatting. Have you guys like dressed up a lot? Like, what's your favorite Halloween costume you guys have had? Cold, 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 breeze, cold, cold. Cold, 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 cold. Caddick says, I didn't even ask, but how are you, Josie? I'm doing pretty good. Such is life. It's pretty much just the same thing every day. I don't know. I don't have anything exciting to talk about really. Um, let's see. Mm, nothing really. George says, I don't remember when I was a kid. Only went out maybe 2 times. Oh my god. Wait, I don't know if I told you about this. So, Andrew and I were shopping in like, uh, like at the grocers. And we were talking to one of the workers, and because our machine was down to do the self checkout, so she was like, for context, she was like a very kind, like older black woman, and this is relevant, okay? So I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna dress up this year. Maybe I'll do makeup or something. I always think I'm gonna do it, but then I never do it. Uh, just because it's not, I just don't really have a ton of places to not really go. It's just, I don't know. It's weird sometimes. And then it just kind of gets like, it's just so far off, and I just don't do it. But, anyways, uh, she was like, oh, well, you can just buy a white sheet and then cut holes in it, and then you can be like, you could be a ghost. And I was like, yeah, but you have to be sure it's not pointy. Like I obviously can't do that. And then she was like, oh. She was laughing so hard. It was really embarrassing because I didn't mean to make that joke. And Andrew was mortified. I embarrassed the fuck out of that man. He's like, Josie, you can't make jokes like that. And I'm like, but it's funny. And she laughed. Anyways, I called out my comedy club humor. Caddick says, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm personally doing all right. As well, I'm just feeling really overwhelmed by my thoughts. That's fair. I'm not gonna do. Oh. Sometimes I just want to shut my mind down. But that's hard sometimes. I know how that feels. That's why I was chuckling. Yeah. Have you, I know that you, I'm not gonna like, with what you have going on, it's probably hard to do it, but meditation really helps me. I don't know if you have therapy and stuff, but um, I don't know. Usually when I go to therapy at this point, they're just like, you already know what to do. Where I'm just here for like encouragement at this point, and I could go back to therapy. I've thought about it, but I don't know. I just need it to not be like a. The introductory process is annoying because I had to take a break from it for a bit. Well, it's not that I had to take a break. I graduated out of it, so it's like, um, but how do I say it? Yeah, meditation was really helpful. There's also like grounding practices too. But yeah, Chaotic says, I can't meditate. I don't have the focus or patience to do it. I know it works, but not for me, honestly. I I have ADHD like up my ass, bro. Like I have such bad ADHD that for me, the most I can accomplish with meditation is just letting go of thoughts better. That's how I practice meditation. Like the thoughts still come in and they still can be really overwhelming, but I can cycle through them faster. Like it's practicing like letting go of your thoughts. That's what meditation is. And once I understood that, I was like, oh, I can practice that. So I still do it sometimes, especially when I'm really, I guess, like sad, you know? Like if I'm sad or if I have like a big emotion and it gets really overwhelming, I just kind of let go of the emotion. I like feel it, I let the thoughts come that happen with it, and I try not to obsess over it because I do that a lot. Also, candy time. Oh my god, I don't know if that's gonna work. Okay, it did. Oh, one of my old foster cats named Ember was really obsessed with candles. She would just sit there and stare at them. She was like the candle would be like, this is dog trees, but it'd be like this close to her face, and she'd be like, she just really liked the heat. Chaotic says, I can't meditate. I don't have the focus or patience to. Oh, wait. What used to help me. I'm so sorry, I'm really tired. What used to help me with my anxiety did hit was praying, but I left religion, so praying doesn't have any meaning to me anymore. Yeah. I guess that's kind of like a similar process. You're like letting go of the things you can't control. So it is pretty similar. IMO. IMO. But obviously it's not the same thing, you know. You might still be able to get some of the same same kind of process out of it, but I don't know if this is too much. If this is too much, like let me know. But you might still be able to get some of the same benefits out of finding something else. That's kind of what I had to do when I left Christianity. And now like faith and religion is kind of something different to me now. Now I don't view it as like I don't know, like now when I like do anything, like I have a rule about like uh asking like any higher power for anything. It has to be for like the benefit of people around me. And it can't be for myself. Otherwise I get too in my head and I'm too self focused and I'm like, oh make my life like this. Cause otherwise I don't know, that's the thing that I really struggled with like the idea of praying when I was younger. This might be TMI. And it's so weird. I like people in my church did not like me because I never prayed about myself or really my own situations. I primarily wanted to like I focused on other people. Because every time I tried to focus on myself, I was like, well, I can just do that for myself for the most part, you know? So I don't know. I didn't really understand it as much. And I'm not trying to like get too into it. But yeah. Hi, Bixby. One second. I have to open the door. Hello. I'll be back. Oh my god, I'm so cold. Drinking this smoothie has made me cold. Experience coming out right now? Yes, I know. Come here. Come here. What are you doing? Come here, Stinky. She always smells a little stinky. She farts a lot now. And I think it's because we give Michael like milk or whatever and the leftovers because we don't want to give him too much, but you make it in like certain servings. So the leftovers I give the other cats because they really like it. And she's been farting a lot. It's kind of gross. Now. Or you just want to play? Okay. Ugh. Come here. Chaotic says sometimes I would. Oh, sorry. I'm not yawning because of you. I'm yawning because I'm really tired. Siri, be nice. Sorry, I don't Oh my gosh, shut the fuck. Let's see. Honestly, sometimes I wish I could believe in a higher power once again, but I simply can't anymore. The idea of a loving divinity that cares about us can be very comforting, but it doesn't make sense to me anymore. Yeah, I kind of, like, as I got older, this might be really weird, but I kind of viewed a lot of, like, higher power stuff to be, like, how we are with pets, you know? Like, you kind of adopt people or, like, creatures into your lives, and it's your responsibility to care for them. And if there's a lot of higher powers or whatever, then how do I put it? There's obviously going to be more, like, some people are going to be really good at it, some people are going to be bad, and like trial and error, you know? Because, like, I don't know, because I still have like my own like religious perspectives and stuff. I'm not going to dive really deep into them, but that's kind of how I view it, you know? Chaotic says, although I acknowledge that most of my mental health issues come from exposures to religion, like I wouldn't have developed OCD if it wasn't by religion, and I wouldn't have developed a fear of hell if it wasn't by Christianity, but at the same time it helped me navigate life. It can be like that sometimes. Like there's always a lot of there's always a lot of give and take, you know? Like sometimes it depends on how much you go into it. But I think that kind of helped me. Because in a lot of religious perspectives, not perspectives, but like, you know, going all the way back to like Plato and stuff like that, the idea of, or even like Greek mythology, Roman mythology, even back to like the Egyptian gods, like the gods depicted were human. They had very human characteristics, and they would all make mistakes. And they would harm one another, have conflict, and conflict resolution, you know? Even monotheistic religions have a similar process. So for me personally, I've, I don't know, that's kind of how I view, like, higher powers and stuff. Like, they're not always going to get it right, because humans supposedly have free will. So, I mean, you can get into the semantics of that, however. Like, do you make your own decisions? Do you not? I think we've gotten into that discussion before with some other chatters, too. But yeah, it's one of those things where there's only so much that you can really do about it, you know? And higher power doesn't mean that they're like perfect or never gonna make mistakes or whatever, because yeah, I don't know. That's just my perspective on it. Well, I don't believe in free will, at least not the conventional type of free will. Yeah, yeah. I thought that was you that we talked about that with. It's kind of interesting, you know. Free will is a very complicated thing. Hmm. Zach also talks about it here, and he's a denier of free will. Yeah, I haven't watched his streams in a bit. I haven't been able to watch like anybody's stream. Oh, I've just been like, I don't know. I've been kind of like offline a little bit, which is okay. Hmm. I can get I don't know. I'm probably gonna hop back into it when winter comes around. I don't know. I thought about that a lot. Like, is free will a thing? We watched some content about it. I think Zach talked about it here too. But yeah. I don't think. Oh, he is streaming. I was just like, I wonder if he is. But yeah. I think that at most you have the ability to make your choice. And usually your first instinct on a choice is going to be your best one. But, you know, such is life. Hmm. Alright, let's see. Did I lose my Wi Fi? Yeah. Hmm. Let me check on my phone. Um, is it my Wi Fi? Or is it Twitch? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Hmm. I think it's my Wi Fi. Ollie. I don't know. I can't see anything. So I'm just going to have it on my phone. Oliver, come here. Let's see. I'm going to see what you said. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Dude, I have to on my phone. I'm so sorry. Kelly says, I think each person has different experiences with belief or disbelief of free will. And honestly, I think it's better if people believe in what makes them happy rather than try to get the ultimate, which we'll never get to. That's true. You'll never actually be able to know everything. And that can be kind of upsetting, you know? I really struggled with that for a long time. I was never diagnosed with OCD or anything like that, but I definitely I have had like some like obsessive tendencies, which is kind of like annoying, you know. I love how I'm able to stream, but I can't. It's so weird. I can like my upload is good, but my actual Wi-Fi to do things like my download speed is trash right now. Usually it's the opposite. Dang, it's not even loading. In my case, I stopped believing in free will, made me depressed, and changed the way I thought. But I don't really believe in free will anymore, and I can't trick myself into believing again. Yeah. I feel that way about some things too. This is going way more into like existentialism and stuff. I don't mind though. Fuck it. I was like, today we can talk all about football. You guys want to. But then Darius is not here to teach me, and I'm okay with that. Although you try to be more optimistic. Yeah, no, that's good. I think that is really good. I kind of agree, you know? But for me, I've kind of made peace with just not understanding anything. I'm like, there are going to be things that we can't comprehend. And I accepted that. More so, like, in the past year or so than anything else. Because for a really long time, I was all about figuring stuff out, trying to understand things. I was every like single year, I would dive deeper and deeper and deeper into like religion, philosophy, and all that stuff. But it's all kind of the same to me now. And obviously, there's things that you can learn from it, and it's a tool. But I don't view it as any more than a tool at this point. I kind of feel the same thing about like being like viewing gods or anything like that to be or a higher power to be very like controlling or know everything all the time. I lost the ability to really believe in that. Not really believe, but like have that like religious feeling or whatever a long time ago. Now I kind of just like live, and sometimes I feel like I'm close to the world or whatever, and that like maybe there's like a purpose for me to be here. But sometimes I don't. And I don't really put a lot of pressure on it. I think what's hard is like during the holidays and stuff like that. There's always a lot more pressure. That's why I kind of keep my face stuff private because I want to like have it be a me thing, you know? Because a lot of people do it for community too. My mind's hanging out. I have my his water fountain over here. So there's extra water sounds today. I don't know if you can hear it. But he's hanging out right there. He's so cute. I think as an adult, I care more about the institution that people back when they are religious than anything else. So if you're promoting a very corrupt institution, I will like if I'm your friend, I'm gonna be like, hey, you need to think about what you're doing. Will I try to shame you or whatever? No. Or force you to leave or anything? No. But I'm gonna tell you like what it is. Yadek says, I used to be a very pessimistic, angry, and depressed individual. I used to be an antinatalist, atheist, was very into nihilism, etc. What made me get out of this was forcing myself to act differently. Even if I think life is shit, I keep thinking living is not worth. I'm never going to change for the better. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. And George says, I stopped believing 43 years ago. It has no influence on me at all. Yeah. I think it's more of a cultural thing at this point, you know? At least that's how it feels for me. Chaotic said, oh yeah, but to address what you said, Chaotic. Yeah, I, on like the outside, I used to be pretty, like nihilistic and that sort of thing, and not necessarily out of anger, but more so because I hadn't really experienced like positivity or like a lot of that stuff. Like it's just it felt like everything just kept getting worse all the time, you know? And being an adult has been awesome because then, you know, obviously there's things outside of your control or whatever, but for the most time, having that, like, oh, you know, my life isn't completely under the control of other people around me has actually made it so I'm less nihilistic. Like, I feel better because I feel like I can, like, make my own decisions, and my failures are my own, you know? Hi, Bixby. And that's kind of the change that I needed. But yeah, it's always, I think it's different for everybody too. So I relate. I relate. I relate. Bixby is here. She wants to be under my sweater. Mm-hmm. Okay, blanket. Put her under the blanket instead. I don't know. I think when it comes to children and stuff, I just don't know if I'm gonna do that with this economy and like the world and how it is. It makes it scary, you know. And you want there to be support, you know. Chaotic says anything that makes you wake up and have meaning in life is worth believing if it doesn't cause harm to yourself or others. That's true. I think that's why I have like a lot of plants, not to get like super deep into things, like plants and like pets and stuff, and I've always fostered like as an adult. And even when I was a kid, having having pets and people to take care of has made me feel like I have purpose. Mm. Because when I was a kid, that was my purpose. I was a caretaker for like my disabled relatives and stuff. And that's kind of what kept me going. And when I had no one to take care of anymore, that was hard for me. So then I got pets. I don't know. It's just kind of like in my nature, I guess. Like who I am. What do you guys like? What keeps you going or whatever? Like when life is like kind of shitty and you're depressed and stuff. Like what motivates you to like do shit? I don't know. Like on my worst day, it's always like pets and plants. Plants, not really like projects or whatever. Some people are very, I don't know. Sometimes it's work for people. Sometimes it's like other things. But having obligations helps me. George says, same. I don't have a family of my own, but I have all the girls I look after in my family. Yeah, and you do a good job. You do a good job. You're very sweet. I personally think you do. I don't know. What is it? It's not always what we want. It's not always. I don't know. Sometimes it's not always what we like or what we want, but sometimes it's just what we need, you know? Anyways, Chaotic says, I have to wait for it to pop up here. What gives me a reason to live at the moment is trying to be more ethical, kind, and help reducing others' suffering. Taking care of others gives me meaning. Yeah, same. That's why I do like a lot of volunteer work and stuff too. It makes me feel like the world doesn't have to be bad, you know? Because I'm like proof that it doesn't have to be bad. I have to like prove to myself that it doesn't have to be bad. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people like that though. I'm not unique. Hmm. Hmm. I can have you. Hmm. Really weird timing. I'm sorry. Hmm. George says, I'm surprised it lasted this long. I know. I try to go through it slow though. Hmm. George, or not George, Tammy says, well, honestly, I want to have kids so I can find someone who could take care of me when I get old. Yeah. I guess that is part of it. That's kind of why I was born low key. Like, my family, I was never close to anyone in my family. Um, like, none of them really, like, knew anything about me. But I did take care of most of my relatives or whatever. So, I was kind of, and they told me that. I was kind of like, so, like, don't, if you have kids and that's, like, the only reason why, like, I don't recommend doing that. Because it's not always, like, the best feeling. But I also understand why, too. Why that would be, like, an easier, like, idea, you know? Chaotic said, sorry, going back to what you said. Do, 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 do. I personally don't want to have kids. I don't know if I'll ever marry, but I'm fine with taking care of my parents when they're old and taking care of my niece who was born in April of this year. Yeah, I think that's really cute. Oh, you guys are so cute. Oh my gosh. Everyone's like, we'll take care of our families. I like it. You guys are good vibes. See if I can reload the page. Oh my god, Twitch is finally loaded again. Oh, yes. My computer was taking a poo. There we go. Yeah, I think it can be complicated. Tommy says, and another reason because I lived my whole life with my mom. So there's a lot of things I didn't do with my father that I would like to do as a father with my kids. Oh, I like that one too. That's very sweet. Yeah. I think that's adorable. I don't know. I think having kids is like very complicated, you know. Katic says, I see. We're having deep talks today, Tahami. I don't know if you noticed. I personally think that it's a bad reason to have a kid. I don't think people are under any obligation to take care of their parents when they get old, as long as there's other people to take care of them. Raising children correctly is your obligation, and the kids have no obligation to let their parents back. Yeah. So, like, for me, uh, I couldn't really have like a close relationship like with my mom because of a lot of her problems and the family stuff. It was just like there's a lot of layers that go into that. But I did help her a lot financially and stuff like that. So every time I could, I would like try to help her in everything in the ways that I could. Whether that be like all of her getting her bills in order, scheduling appointments, and that sort of thing. Um, but we weren't really like close as people. And I tried, but it just wasn't good. Like, I had sessions with her therapist, like, you know, trying to work all of it out, but it just never really came together, which is really disappointing. But that's just kind of how life is sometimes. So it's like sometimes it's like you do what you can like behind the scenes, rather than just like in person or whatever. Caddick says, also, I don't think parents have any obligation to like or love their kids. Yeah, they have an obligation to raise their kids ethically, respect their boundaries, teach them limits, etc. But love is never an obligation. It's something that just naturally happens. That's true. It's like, not to like give you too much about my own life because I don't want to like make it all about me, but I know what it's like to not be like loved as a kid because I had to take care of my relatives. So I was never really in a home situation or in proximity enough with people to actually get that like love thing going. And I heard that from a lot of like my family and my relatives. So like when Christmas would happen and stuff, I wouldn't really get like a lot of gifts or they'd always be like really generic. And yeah, I would ask them why. And they'd be like, well, we just don't love you like that. Like, we'd have to be around you more in order to love you like that. And I appreciate them being honest because it helped me understand that there wasn't like a problem with me, but it also isn't like a fun thing. Tammy says, yeah, I know that. But here it's something religious and cultural to take care of your parents. That's how we know that our kids are going to take care of us, like we did with our parents. Yeah, it is true. It's very traditional. Gosh, I know that like big family stuff is more popular in other places too. Gosh, I have like a bug bite here and I keep itching it. I'm trying not to itch it, I'm trying to just like rub it a bit. Freaking mosquito got in the house. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Like, just as, like, no one has to love you, you know? And it is something that comes with time. It is something that, like, gradually can evolve. And sometimes it just never happens too. Like, it's just like, I'm just too unconventional in beliefs. That's fair. I just think it really depends on people and like what they have going on, honestly. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I feel like as long as people understand that that's like a thing, then, I don't know, you find it in other places when you get older. But I think what causes the most problems is being like stuck in it and resenting people for it. Because people can't really help their feelings or like force feelings. And if it's not a thing that's there and that like, and they're just doing things out of obligation and they don't like you, why stay? You know? Because then it builds resentment. Because people like to do things for people that they love, or if it's something that they actually love. But they don't really like to do it if it's something that they feel like they're forced to. And then they start mistreating you unknowingly, which is kind of weird. Caddick says, like, I think I'm the only non-Christian in my family and I'm very progressive. I try to avoid talking about ethics, politics, and philosophy with my family because I don't want to shock them. Yeah, I know how that feels. It did not help my case with my family. But me being like my little ADHD ass, I was like, oh, but I want to talk about it because I just didn't understand that they couldn't handle it super well. So I was like, yeah, let's chat about it. Let's talk about it. And then I was like, oh no, that was a bad idea. But yeah, I was a teenager when I did that though. I learned to just get my space when I was older. I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Doesn't Brazil have like a very big like family first culture? Isn't that like a thing? Gosh, I should probably change the title of the stream. Let me just do a question mark. I was like, let's talk about the news. Okay, we're not doing that. We might do it later, but let's see. Okay, that's good enough. I met some people from Brazil who are very like their family is very, very intertwined and is pretty big. Tommy says, I love to talk with my mom about politics, but I hate to talk to her to talk about it with my father. They have completely different opinions. Honestly, I think that's why they got divorced. Oh, yeah, vibes. That'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah. Hey, at least your parents got divorced instead of trying to like force it though. That's always like the worst thing. I know. Almost done. Caddick says, yes, we are very family driven here. It's really something deeply important here to be close to our family, especially due to our Catholic history of colonization. Although we never really followed the strict traditional family stuff, like there's plenty of hypocrisy around Catholic culture. Yeah, it's very similar in Mexico too. Obviously not the same, but Mexico has a really weird like Catholic culture too. It's a lot of stuff does kind of go against the structure of the church, but it's not a bad thing. Like De los Martes, something like that. It's like the 2nd of November. The Catholic Church doesn't really like a lot of that stuff as much, but you know, cultural. George says, Chaotic, I hope you're staying safe. I've been watching battles in Rio on the news. Yes. Chaotic, you're from the north, right? Or maybe we didn't go into it. Oh, let's see. Chaotic says that's understandable. In my experience, moms tend to be more comprehensive to talk to than fathers. Yeah. I guess that is kind of true. Can be, at least. It's like really big in Rio right now. I'm gonna look this up. Not Rio, I'm currently northeast of Brazil, but I'm originally from Sao Paulo, which is in the southeast. Oh, dang. Oh, shit. Police raid targeting Rio gang members kills at least 119 people. Holy crap. I'm gonna share a link of this one. I'm glad you're not in Rio right now. There's I don't know if I can show it, because there's, holy fuck. That's pretty crazy. Tammy says totally agree, that's why I've chosen to live with my mom. Vibes. Vibes, vibes. I don't think I can show this video, at least the beginning, but I think it's worth seeing. I think family units are complicated. I don't know. I don't know a lot about like other family structures or whatever. I kind of just, how do I put it? I kind of like leave it be IMO. Oh my god. Tammy says, I saw it on Twitter. It's taking over my feed. Yeah. I saw a little bit about it on TikTok, but I had no idea so many people passed away. Paddock says, I mean, they said they're going after the criminals, but inevitably innocents were killed. People who live in the favelas usually drug test traffickers more than they, or trust drug traffickers more than they trust police officers. Yeah. Well, can't the police officers be, bought out a lot more? Tammy says, actually, it's so complicated. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It is, it is. Is it pretty calm where you are, Chaotic, compared to Rio? My hands have been so dry. It takes so long. So much stuff. Caddick says police officers don't care about the well-being of residents of favelas and low-income communities in the big cities. They act based on racism and are very violent. Damn. Tommy says, didn't hear what you said. Oh, yeah, my mic is kind of far away. Let me fix that. Might be a little weird. There we go. There's my mic. Is this better, chat? Hopefully it is. Bixby's like, whoa, you're spinning. You're spinning, man. Chill out. That should be a little bit better. I forgot that when I was setting it back up last night, it was really up high. Caddick says here in the Northeast, the police is less extreme and less violent, but they're still assholes. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay, good. Damn. The police in Brazil go a lot harder than some of the American police do. Do they have a lot of guns? I mean, obviously a ton of people were killed, so I assume that they do, but oh, just to give an image, we have military police, yeah. Oh, that's not fun. Yeah. Oh, I got what you meant, chaotic, yeah. That's what America is trying to go towards, and it stresses me out. It increases the likelihood of people dying for no reason, which is really stressful. Tammy says, yeah, I can 100% understand that. There's a lot of common things between Egypt and Brazil. Yeah. That is true. Egypt's been going through it for a while now. It's been same with Brazil. It's like every time the people try to make the government less corrupt, it's like foreign powers come in and influence it to make it corrupt again. Caddick says, so guns used to be very rare. 1 decade ago here, only officers and criminals used to have it, but Bolsonaro made it easier to get guns here. And that increased gun violence, right? I'm surprised a lot of left-leaning people don't cite that as part of their sources, because I've heard a bit about it, but people here in America don't really. When it comes to gun violence and gun regulation, I'm so sorry. They kind of focus more on other things. Caddick says, yeah, I don't know much about Egypt, but I can imagine the two countries share similar experiences. Yeah. That's just to my understanding. There's probably a lot of other differences. I have another Tootsie Pop. Tommy says, I can't imagine that we made a revolution to make things better, but after 14 years from that, we're in the darkest spot ever in our history. Yeah. That's what it's been like here. Not here in America as much, but like, oh, that's what I've been hearing about a lot. It's like, I guess kind of in America, but not the same level. It feels like you take a step forward and then you're taking a couple steps back. Like, there's no continuous progress that's being made. Which is really frustrating. I guess that's how it goes. Do you think Egypt will have another revolution? Or do you think it'll take time? Jeremy says, yeah, I think our governments are taking lessons from the same dictator. Which one? Hmm. I feel like a lot of governments right now are trying so much harder to hold on to power rather than like for a really long time people would, at least here in America and a lot of Western countries with democracy and everything like that, democracy, there was a very big push towards people resigning and letting the next generation come up and kind of take their place. And it was seen as a very honorable thing to do. But now it's not as positive. Caddick says, around a week ago, I heard that there was an incident on the neighborhood I used to live in Sao Paulo. I used to live in the biggest favela in the state of Sao Paulo. Basically, two officers came, they broke down a door, killing a suspect while he was sleeping. Damn, and later one of my childhood friends saw that. The officers saw him and they threw a smoke bomb at him. Damn. Holy shit. I'm glad he's okay though. At least I assume he's okay. That shit makes me nervous and stressed. Tammy says, it will take a lot of time, but they made people really poor, so the only thing that they think about is the food, not the political stuff. But I believe that one day people are gonna open their eyes and realize that we have to make another revolution. Yeah. Be safe though. Here in America, revolutions kind of seem impossible because our government has managed to stay in power for a really long time. Like, nothing's really happened that has overtaken our common government in like a revolution kind of aspect. Like in France, they cut people's heads off, you know? So when the French people kind of show up, there's that lingering like don't fuck with us, otherwise we'll fuck with you back. But here in America, there's not that pressure. Because nothing really happens to our representatives when they fuck up, besides maybe jail. And when I say maybe, I really do mean maybe, because most of the time they don't go to jail for stuff. Which I guess happens a lot in your guys' countries too. This is so. Politics right now is so stressful. Tammy says, in the past, one of the cops killed more than 1,000 and injured more than 6,000 in just 18 days. So if it happened again, a lot of people are going to die. That's true. I think the same thing would happen here in America. I think a lot of people would die here in a revolution because, especially with conservative people in power, Trump has been trying to militarize a lot of things against the people who are protesting and stuff. And that's really stressful, especially at like ICE facilities, which I'm not going to dive super deep into the weeds of because I have before, but it scares me. I don't know. I'm not going to ask you guys because I feel like we're online, so that's probably not like the best platform to like ask anything like this about. But it's always worth wondering, like, or thinking about if you would play a role in anything and what role would that be? Like, I don't know. I live in Nebraska. I don't really have like the ability to do a lot. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Hmm. Chaotic says, unfortunately, revolutions are necessary and the driving force in the world. Unfortunately, there's no way to bring good on a large scale without blood. I think that pacifism, like personally, I believe that pacifism lasts until there's no way to be passive anymore, you know? So people will be passive with what they do, try not to be physically aggressive. But if you corner someone or if you overstep too far, people are going to lash out. It's just kind of how it is. And it's really stressful too. And I'm really scared here in America because I know you guys have a lot of like more difficulties than we have here in a lot of different ways. But food stamps is gonna go out here in the next couple days, and people aren't gonna get assistance from the government to feed their kids or their families, and that increases crime rate. We're gonna have to see how that goes. Chaotic says, ideally we should all be pacifists. It's the most virtuous path, but impossible in reality. I don't know. It works out pretty well, IMO. It's like, I don't know. It depends on how you define like pacifism. Let's see. The belief that any violence, including war, is unjustifiable under any circumstances, and that all disputes should be settled by peaceful means. Yeah. Yeah, and there are a lot of different types of pacifism too. Like sometimes it really depends on if you believe that like mental aggression is the same as physical aggression. Ugh. But damaging the psyche does cause more long-term damage than like damaging someone's their body, at least most of the time, unless you're absolutely like annihilating someone, you know, like killing them. But yeah. Tammy says, I believe that in something like this, there must be sacrifices. The revolution that happened in 2011 happened because there was a boy named Khalid, sorry. And he said the police tortured him to death. And when his photo after the torture was published in the newspapers, that was the spark that started the last revolution. Yeah. It's it's very fragile, you know? I think it is really fucking sad. It's sad that like a lot of revolutions have to happen in order for people to be taken seriously. But when it comes to nations that have like nukes and stuff, it seems like revolutions don't really happen. You know, it's like they have more incentive. No, Josie, his name is Khalid. Khalid? Khalid said? Did I say it right or wrong? Sorry. Let me know. Chaotic says, I was referring to absolute pacifism when I wrote that it's impossible. I would say I'm okay with conditional pacifism. Violence is always an evil, but in the presence of a bigger evil, it becomes the lesser of two evils. One example is fighting against a Nazi. Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Cool. That makes me feel better. Here in America, people don't really fight against Nazis anymore. It's fucking crazy. That's one of the things that's like driving me insane. Like there are people who dress up in like Nazi uniforms for Halloween or whatever. And I think I saw it on Reddit. Hmm. And it was like a couple days ago. Oh, it's literally in so many places. There's Georgia, California. Oh my gosh. New York. It's happening everywhere. Holy shit. Tommy says, I think you can't defeat evil without being an evil. That's how it goes. I don't know. I guess so. I think it's easier to be evil. And I think, I don't know if you guys have seen Les Mis, the musical, or Hi, Mei. Hi, Pee. Or participated in like watching the movie or something similar. But there are a lot of there's a lot of like there was one character who he refused, I can't remember their names, but he refused to get revenge on someone who did some horrific shit to them just to like condense it down. And the dude just straight up murked himself. In my opinion, doing evil things back to the people who have done evil things to you just makes them feel like they got what they deserved, especially if they understood what they did was wrong or they comprehend what they did was wrong. If you decide to do nothing, especially like, and you just kind of let them live their life or whatever, they tend to be their own demise, you know? Very rarely do people start doing better if they don't get their like what they feel to be just karma done against them. So their life has to like absolutely go to shit because of what happened. And then they can have like an upwards thing. But there has to be like some like something to trade off in order for them to feel like their guilt is like okay. That's why a lot of people who do horrible things or who have harmed people who have like a guilty conscience later on, um, if their life continues to stay good, they end up offing themselves because they have to have that downward. Otherwise, there's nothing left for them. And I'm not saying be like kind to people or whatever, or like move on or don't be evil because they'll eventually do it to themselves because not everybody has that moral conscience. Like, not everybody feels that way, but there are people who do. Amy says that's why government is trying hard to get rid of all the guns in Upper Egypt. They're so afraid that people could use guns in the next revolution. If that happens, they're kind of fucked, IMO. Mm. You don't want it to be like a proxy war like Sudan. Because that shit's horrible. Like the UAE, what they're doing in Sudan is fucking horrible. And that's kind of, you would have to have an external um, government or rich financier or something like that to fund a revolutionary force in Egypt to have a revolution happen. The people, like, you can't have a revolution with just the people itself now. There has to be some force to fund it. So America wouldn't have like a revolution here, like a really good revolution where the whole government is restructured or whatever, unless another country got involved and fully funded a group in the United States to take over. Like that would have to happen here. That's why government monitoring is so huge in the United States. Because they're afraid of countries like China, because China is like very soft power focused. But I could see them doing something like that or whatever. And that's why the Russia scandal with Trump was such a huge fucking thing during his first like term or whatever. Takes a lot of money. If you're a poorer country, then you can do it easier though. The people still have the power to take over. It's just who can get money first. Oh no. But here in America, that's why I kind of think that Trump being super paranoid about like immigrants and Antifa and stuff is ridiculous because no one is really funding Antifa. Antifa is a perspective. And none of these like fringe groups that he's going after have enough like power or backing, especially by like other countries in order to overtake the government or have enough influence. So what he's doing doesn't make sense. Tammy says UAE is the Middle Eastern America. She wants all the other countries to be weaker and weaker so they could be more stronger. That's true. And America helped create the UAE too. That's why it's so similar. And that's why they're more sympathetic towards Israel than a lot of the other Gulf states. It's really fucked. But you're right, Tommy. You are. It's really sad. And that's why like going there as an American is a lot easier and it's perceived as safer, and that's why I haven't really like pursued a job in the UAE or Qatar or like Saudi Arabia maybe, but even then it's very like Western focused. Hmm. Mm. It's so depressing sometimes to talk about this stuff. I sit here and I'm like, oh. I don't know. I've thought about what it would take to have a revolution happen in America for a long time. Not because I'm trying to like plan a revolution or whatever. It's just it all comes down to finances and weaponry and a foreign country being able to help overthrow. Or a large scale corporation that has the financial backing to fund a revolution. I feel like the a corporation would be an easier like way to do it, but than another country, because that'd just be a war between America and another country. But I don't know. That's like getting into the weeds of it. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry. You're right, Kahami. I'm so sorry it takes so long. What the heck? That is crazy. I know. I know. Okay, Tahami, I'm going to read what you said for anybody who's listening. If you don't know, the UAE is the only Arab country that supports Israel in front of everyone. And the thing that the UAE did with Sudan is the same thing they did with Yemen and Libya. It's not a new thing. That's true. Yeah, I understand that there's. Yeah. No, the thing is that, like, the UAE is really trying to take over other countries, like, passively, and then maybe entirely. Because they really want a lot of the farmland or resources that are in those nations. So it's really fucking shitty because, like I said, a lot of my students are from Sudan. And when I hear about their stories and I talk to them about it, it's fucking horrible. It's horrible. And everybody's been knowing that it's all about the UAE for a really long time. And when I was talking to them about maybe teaching there, some of my students that, like, did a little bit better. Like when I first started teaching and stuff, I started working with like higher level students so I could have them talk to me back. I told them I might want to like teach English in the UAE or Saudi Arabia or Qatar. And they were like, no. They didn't really know enough English to explain it to me really well, but I've been doing a lot of my own research. And that's where I've been like, oh my god, it's actually really bad. Oliver's freaking out. Oh, he can't come in here. I can't tell him to come in here. I have the gate up so they don't do wild stuff. Thomas says now UAE is buying a lot of empty lands here in Egypt, and the dumb one that we call him the president is not selling everything right now. He put Egypt on sale, literally. I heard a bit about that, or at least I saw some stuff about it online too. They're trying to use their money to purchase everything. Like everything. It's crazy. It stresses me out, man. And the UAE and Qatar are basically extensions of the United States. At least, is it Qatar? I don't know. But everyone says it differently. But at least Qatar has some of their own independence away from the United States. But the UAE is basically like Israel, or it's very similar to Israel. But it's more, they've been allowed to function on their own, and it's not like colonialization in the same way. Ollie's gonna freak out for a little bit. I'm sorry. He's very good. Let's see. Yeah, they're buying empty lands and no one knows why, and I have a bad feeling about that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there is a revolution that happens in Egypt, I think the UAE is probably going to do the same thing it did in Sudan and fund it. And that's how Egypt would have the next revolution. But I'll be right back, chat. I'll let you say what else you want to say about that, because I know there's probably a lot to type about this too. But I'll be right back. I'll be back. I'll be back. You're still streaming, by the way.
Yeah. I'm gonna get cooking dinner. Yar.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I have the Sparkle water. Sparkle water? Oh my god. I did. I wanted the comfy pants. Andrew's mad at me because I stole his pants. But I feel like I'm allowed to, and it's okay. Do you want to come say hi to chat while I go pee?
I ain't got no pants on.
He says he can't. Not yet. Tommy says, actually, I think that if a revolution happened, we are going to take back all these lands because the same scenario happened before 2011 when Saudi Arabia was buying lands here. When the revolution happened, we took all of that back and they just told us we don't want it anymore. You can take it. We don't want our money back. Well, otherwise it would have it would have started like a really big war. I didn't know that about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has purchased a lot of land. I think it's in California specifically, to grow alfalfa. Chaotic says, you're allowed to steal his pants. That's funny. He's so mad right now.
Oh yeah, I'm positively mauling right now. I'm seething with rage.
He's so pissed all the time.
Oh yeah.
What a bitch.
So upsetty all the time. You're your third sucker.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
Let me have my joy. No, come here and talk to. I have to pee. We're talking.
Have to cook.
We'll cook here first, and then do your thing. Sit down. Andrew looks like the chillest dude ever. He has a hole though. I finger it. Anyways, I'll be back.
Hi. Hello, Tohami 006. Do you have a license to kill?
Right.
It's like 007. 006 was an agent. Chat, I want you to know that the car is fixed. I think all of the things are fixed that were broken. Granted, I found out that I may or may not have forgotten to put a few subframe bolts in. I forgot to put the subframe bolts in years ago. It's been fine, so I think it'll be fine for a little while longer. Oh, I didn't check my tensioner. I was going to do that. We have a new neighbor and he's a car guy. He's a cool man. And the only problem with that is I end up yapping with him for like half the time that I should be working on the car. It's fine though. Andrew, does Josie talk politics all the time outside of stream? How do you support her? Not all the time, but a lot of the time. There is a lot of politic yapping. How do I support her? Sometimes I agree with her, sometimes I do not. And we'll normally debate for a little while, but she likes to fight. So like if it's just turning into her fighting because she likes to fight, I just leave. You have to talk to him. He already did. Yeah, he's already been helping a lot. He helped me resolve this clanking issue that I thought was my dog bone mount in the subframe, but it was actually my exhaust clamp between the downpipe and the first part of the catback. It was touching one of the cross braces across the trans tunnel, and it was just going. And I thought it was part of the drivetrain. I thought it was a drivetrain issue or something with the suspension, and I couldn't figure it out. But it was the exhaust clamp, so that's what I was out there doing today. I was rotating the clamp so that it doesn't touch it anymore. Okay, chat, bye! I have to go cook this woman food! Because we do not adhere to stereotypical gender roles in this household.
He's such a bitch, chat.
Chat knows I'm not a bitch.
He is a bitch. Alright, Rabbit is on the road again. It is!
Just in time to get rent.
That's true. We have to go get rent. We have to get rent and drop it off.
Wait, hang on.
Andrew, does Josie talk about politics all the time outside his stream?
How do you see yourself politically? How do I see myself? Like when I look in the mirror?
I think I'm more left-leaning than Andrew is.
I think we're probably about the same. You just yap about it a lot more.
Do you support me politically?
I think most of the time, yeah. Sometimes you have some head-ass takes, though, and I call that shit out.
You have way more head-ass takes than I do, bro.
Maybe.
You're like a pacifist. He's more of a pacifist than I am. If you think I'm a pacifist, he's more of a pacifist. He's like, just let them be. I'm like, these motherfuckers! They need to know my opinion! That's why I stream and he doesn't. Because I have to like do something. She
streams so that she doesn't yap to me. I get like 3 hours of quiet. It's great.
I feel like Andrew's just a chill guy who wants to live peacefully. Yeah. I bring so much chaos into his life. He gets so mad at me because I'm just like, I'm not usually part of the chaos. I'm not like usually a main figurehead in the chaos. People try to wrap me into it, and I'm like, keep me the fuck out. No. I don't start shit though. People bring me into it. I'm like, all right, you want to play it? We're gonna fucking play. We're gonna fucking play, and then I'll leave when I want to.
It's like somebody else starts a small fire, and we have a little fire, a little conflict. And so it's like, this is a manageable fire, little fire. And then Josie comes, and she's like, guys, have you heard about gasoline?
No,
gasolina.
This is not. Gasolina. No. No, this is not Risk of Rain, sir. Gasoline is my favorite proc tool in that game, though. And I'm not a tanky, okay? I don't believe in being a tanky. Heavy says he knows the truth, guys. This is why I don't start shit with people. And I don't, like, allow people to start shit with me. Because if anyone starts shit with me, I take it too far. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a pacifist about this. And my equivalent of being a pacifist is saying, Andrew, would you say I'm a pacifist?
No.
I think I'm a pacifist. Okay, first I say my thing and then I let people go. I normally make my opinion heard, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm peaceful.
Also not true.
I'm so like that, though. He said that quick, Bug. What do you mean? How am I not a pacifist?
No, I was saying that you don't say your piece and then you're quiet and you let other people talk. That's not true. You say your piece and then you're quiet until you remember more about what you wanted to say. And then by the time the other person gets to talk, if someone can get halfway through a sentence that you do not agree with or you think that you're not going to agree with, you go on a fucking tirade. And then I sit here and I'm like, Josie.
I have manners with other people, though. With you, I don't. We live in the same
I
house.
have not seen you have manners with a single person.
What?
I don't know who you're talking about.
This motherfucker. George says that's true.
George,
What?
no.
No. Tell me
He
says, yeah, Josie, I remember what you did with that Shapiro guy.
Yeah, see, chat, we understand.
This is not even close to how I was when I was younger. When I was younger, I was aggressive. In high school, if someone fucked with me, like, I would verbally berate them. They would come talk to me and I'd be like, remember when you did this thing? You think you could fucking talk to me? But I wouldn't say it like that. I'd be like, yeah, you know, like, that reminds me of the time that you did XYZ. Well, what lights?
The ones in the kitchen.
Oh, I have to, like, I have to unscrew the overhead lights when I stream because the overhead lighting is really harsh and then it just makes me look like a ghost. Chaotic says Josie's being exposed so hard. I really don't agree with him right now, just so you guys know. Tommy says she's a silent Bob. You can't expect when she's gonna explode. No, see, like, I don't get that aggressive. I'm just sassy. That's how I view it. Just a little sassy. And, like, the thing that makes me blow up on people and, like, explode and, like, verbally be like, what the fuck are you doing? That is normally related to people pushing me, and I was like, I've been fucking nice to you. Like, I've been nice to you. I've been nice to you this whole fucking time. You have no idea how to... And these are people who don't understand, or at least usually don't have any comprehension of, like, how I will just dive into them. But most of the time, I just leave them be. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get into, like, a war. Like, I understand when there's things at stake or whatever, you know? Like, most of the time, I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna engage. I'm just gonna go. Like, I'm just gonna go. But if people keep putting me in a corner, that's when I blow up at them. I'm just like, why the fuck are you cornering me? Why the fuck are you trying to do this? And I don't really curse a lot. I'm just like, you're doing things you shouldn't. Hi, my. Hey, Andrew, can you come here real quick?
Am I alive?
Yeah, he's stuck.
He's stuck.
He's stuck right over here.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Yeah.
Come here, bud.
I can't disagree. That's reasonable, actually. Yeah, see, my anger is reasonable. And how I react to people is reasonable. I give them so many chances. More chances than I should. My therapist said it's a problem. My old therapist. They also said I had problems with, like, bottling things in with people. What? Why are you laughing at that one? I do. Not with you. I normally yell at Andrew a little bit, actually, because he deserves it. But that's because this motherfucker yells at me. Yeah, anymore. We used to have arguments for like 5 hours straight, and I loved it. It gave me joy. I think I'm kind of an asshole. But I like to have, like, calm, like, witty debates. I like to have arguments about things, and I want to understand why people believe what they believe. It's just what I do. I think it's fun. And then it gives me like a little like high, you know? It's like, who needs to do drugs when you can just argue with someone for like 5 hours straight? It's so good. I love it. I love it. But then if they just keep saying the same thing over and over again, I'm like, boring. And I tell them they're boring, and then their feelings get hurt. And I'm like, oops. You know? Cadix says basically you have a confrontational personality. Only when you get to know me, though. Or if you're being confrontational with me. If you start being confrontational with me, I'll be like, oh, let's go. We can do that. I didn't have parents. I know how to fight. Yeah. That's kind of how I am. But I've gotten way better as I've gotten older, just so you guys know. I'm a lot more calm, a lot more mellow. Don't really argue as much. I'm super chill now. Just so you're aware. I got the orange one this time too. Tommy says the most random argument I've ever had with someone who was about Iron Man and Captain America, who is handsome and who is more handsome than the other, and it went for like 3 hours. I don't argue about that stuff. I usually argue about like
the creation of the universe.
Yeah, Andrew and I argued for like a couple of days straight. I think it might have been like weeks about like how the universe was created and what made it the way it was. And both of us were like poking holes into each other's arguments constantly.
Are you gonna tell about the mental breakdown you had when I did it? When you were like, "Oh, you're not mad at me."
You should do that. You could tell them about that one. I don't like it when people don't argue with me either.
It was funny because after we argued for like a very long time, she was worried that I would hate her or like be abusive or something. I was just like, no, I'm just hungry. I'm gonna make dinner.
Threw me down the stairs for telling her that
I was like, if we're done, I need to make a pizza. So I'm gonna make dinner now. And then she freaked out, and it was funny.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna like slap me or something. I grew up with abusive people, just so y'all know. I don't know if it shows, but I am very argumentative. I won't abuse you physically, but I will tell you how I feel. And it may not be nice. Yeah, I don't hold it in because people who hold in all of their negative feelings all the time end up like getting cancer and stuff, and I don't want that. My distrusting of you and my disliking towards you will not give me cancer by me holding it in. But I will also not talk shit about you to other people. So, I'll only talk shit about you to your face. And or to Andrew. But I still don't even talk to you about a lot of the beef I have with other people. Tommy says, when I meet the boys, we always argue about everything and we can talk about politics, sports, cars, girls, and religion in the same time. Yeah. In the Discord, when I hang out, I end up like yelling at some people sometimes. And they're like, Josie, what the fuck? And I'm just like, you can't. But what they say is so fucking uncalled for. We live in Nebraska, and some people have these like bitch ass takes, okay? And I'm like, who raised you? Who raised you? You should not be treating women like that. Or like doing, that's kind of what I argue about, and I check them. And then I'm like, tee hee hee, let's keep playing the video game. And they're like, there's this one dude where for a while, he equated me doing things online to like me doing OnlyFans. And every time he would do that, I'd yell at him. Except I didn't like yell at him. I would just be very aggressive verbally towards him. I'd be like, I can't believe you're comfortable saying that. Is that the only thing you know about Twitch? And then I think the last time he said it, I was like, thanks for telling me you think I look good naked. And then he got really uncomfortable. And then he's never said it since. So you just gotta, like, you know, find out, like, what angle to get them to shut the fuck up. Is that a hot take? I don't. But sometimes you're stuck around people by proxy. You don't have to be like super close to them or whatever. I don't actively play games with these people. I only see them every once in a while. That's wild, bro. Exactly. That's why I said what I said. Because I was like, okay, fine. You want to say something fucking wild? I'll say it back. I'll make you uncomfortable as shit. I'll make you feel weird. And then it works. And then they're like, and I'm like, I'll do it again, motherfucker. I'll do it again. Anyways, I'm just not really someone you want to argue with a lot. Because I do not stop until I feel satisfied. And people are like, you can't talk about that. It's like a sensitive topic. And I'm like, how is it a sensitive topic if they think it's okay to be insensitive? Like, anyways. I have manners online, though. God. Andrew, why did you have to start this conversation? He did his Billy Goat laugh. They think you're gonna tell them things about me that I don't talk about. Have you ever gotten anything from Andrew that I wouldn't say on my own? I feel like not. And Tommy says it's rude to say that to any girl. Agreed. Which is why I said what I said. And I made him regret it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I could be even sassier too. Just gotta wait. Just gotta wait, babes. You'll see me in person, you'll be like, ah, this bitch, she's a little bit of a terror. And I am. I am. But that's also why people can be afraid to talk to me about things sometimes too, because they think I'll yell at them. But most of the time, I only yell at people if they just like keep pushing. Like, I don't start off like, and I never like raise my voice and actually yell at people, just so y'all know. That's not who I am. But I'm very aggressive with my words. I used corporate speak in like a sensitive situation, and they kind of implode. Yeah, I saw your sassy character. It's funny though. No. Some people think it's funny, and then some people think I'm like really mean. I don't think I'm mean. Andrew, am I mean? When? He can't even give me an answer. I'm not that mean. I'm sassy though. Here's the thing though. My personality doesn't really do well with people from Nebraska because they're so like, or people in the South too, because they're like people pleasers. I like the passive aggressiveness of the South. In the Central Plains or like North Central, so like the Dakotas area, that's when it gets like a little rough because I'm too honest and blunt and it like breaks people's brains. Tommy says, I think he knows something that we don't know, so I'm just gonna agree. Probably, yeah. It's just, if you're honest with people, they think you're being mean to them. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? Have like, take like one sentence and extend it into like a hour-long conversation just so I can find how it's going to be the best way for you to understand a thing? No, I'm not doing that. Oh, good. I'm just going to tell you the thing, and you can ask me questions if you're not a sensitive baby about it. I don't know. I have to be like, I care about most people's feelings though. I feel like I'm digging myself pretty deep right now. I don't know what this says about me. My therapists have always said that I'm very confrontational. And Tommy says, wait a fucking minute. I just noticed that this is the second lollipop in the same hour. Yes, it is. Lollipop, lollipop, lolly, 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 lollipop. Ba-dum, bum, bum. You baby lollipop. Anyways, you guys know that American song? Probably not. But, yes, it is. This is my second one. Technically, this is my third one today. Actually, no, it is my third one today. George says this is the third lollipop. Yep. I also had 2 cookies earlier. I eat a lot of candy and sugar. Maddox says, I personally feel like I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I hate conflict, and I always avoided conflicts my entire life. I grew up as a people pleaser. That's something I'm still working on. I was once like you. Actually, no, I wasn't. Tommy says, I'm an honest person too, but if I'm talking to a sensitive person, I like to keep my thoughts to myself. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're like talking shit about another person or being like really rude about other people, I don't view you as a sensitive person. Even though it's the people who talk the most shit about other people who tend to be the most sensitive, right? But to me, I'm like, oh, if you're gonna deal it, you better be ready to have it dealt back to you. That's my perspective. Her tongue is dying right now. Oh, yo, no. I love these so much. At my growing up, I'd eat a ton of these. And hard candies. So good. But yeah. I thought I was a very, I don't know. When I was younger, I just never said anything to anybody when I was upset until they asked me about it, which is very toxic, not healthy. And then I kept trying to find different ways to talk to people about things. But then when I was in like late high school, I came to the understanding that's manipulative. Because if you have to like try to approach a topic to accommodate to another person's feelings all the time, and you're trying to change their perspective on something, you're trying to manipulate them. They have to come to the idea to change it themselves. So I was like, damn, that's not great. So then I started becoming more confrontational. That started happening very quickly. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for working on it, Chaotic. I do have to say that the pendulum did swing for a little while because I didn't know how to navigate talking about my feelings. And now I'd say it's a little bit more like centered, and I'm more centered as a person about it. Maybe I'm still a little bit passive aggressive on it. I think I'm still pretty passive aggressive. That's just like, I don't know. Stream has helped me. Tommy says, I'm a sugar guy, but not lollipops. I never liked it. What's your favorite thing to have? What's your favorite sugars thing? Wait, maybe I can get it this way too. George says mine is ice cream. Yeah, you are an ice cream lover. You should try making your own ice cream. You can get like the ice cream machines. I feel like that'd be really cool. And tell me how it goes. Chaotic says, I remember I used to be confrontational when I was 5 to 6, and then I noticed that if I behaved well, my parents wouldn't fight and would respect me a bit more and like me. Oh no, that's so sweet. Oh my god. And the many events of my childhood to early teen years intensified my passive aggressive and people pleaser behavior. The passive aggressive, that's true. You seem very passive aggressive, chaotic, and I think it's funny. Tommy says cakes. I can eat a bunch of them without any issues. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Andrew's like a pie guy. He really likes pies. My ex was obsessed with ice cream. He ate so much fucking ice cream, like a lot of ice cream. And then he'd like try to get me to eat it. He'd be like, "Eat the ice cream. Eat the ice cream." And I'd sit there and I would just have like diarrhea. And I'd be like, "I can't eat the ice cream." And he'd be like, "It's good for you." And he always had ice cream treats in the house. And we weren't allowed to have, it was not a great relationship. He was very like controlling about a lot of things. But so the only like sweets we had in the house was ice cream. So if I wanted any sweets whatsoever, all I could have was ice cream. And I was like, you know what, fine, I'll have diarrhea. It's fine. I have to share a bathroom with this motherfucker. He gets to live with it. Tommy says, I like the Egyptian pies. I can't say no to a curry sausage pie. Ooh, what is this? I'm gonna look it up. Ooh. Local sausage with creamy curry cheese, often with other ingredients like peppers, pickled lemon, baked in a pie crust. Ooh. Oh, this looks good. What type of sausage is it? Is it pork? Oh, that looks so good. Oh, I want to eat it. I'm saving that recipe. Chaotic says, I'm passive aggressive, unfortunately. No. Who would have guessed? If you do shit to me, I either ignore you and then sometime later, if I remember about the event and feel mad about it, I act rude towards you. Oh, bro. Here's the thing. I'm so confrontational about that stuff. But when people are like, no offense, chaotic, but if someone does that to me, I pretend like I don't even understand that they're upset. I'm like, this is why I like my therapist. I've had therapists be like, because they talked to my family and they wanted to test me for like autism, but I failed the autism test, just so you guys know. And my family, like, they thought that I was instead of ADHD because I was socially oblivious to what they were doing, but I just pretended to not understand if they didn't talk to me about things. That's why I'm so confrontational. Like no one I knew would talk about anything ever. So it pissed me off so much. So I was like, fine, we're going to talk about it. Let's see. Tommy says, we make it another way with more spices. Ooh, I want to make it. Tommy says that's the best thing to do, actually. Big up, man. I make people upset. Just so you guys know. Oh, it looks really good too. And I want the pie now. Give me your piece of the pie. Yum, yum. If I lived in New York, I could get it. Tommy says, yeah, Josie, you have to try it. The best day in the month is the day that my mom is going to make that pie for me. Maybe I should make it. I've had chicken pot pies. I've made that type of pie before. Ooh. I'm like salivating while I look at it. Oh, that looks so good. Let's see. It's hard to find a recipe. Hmm. Damn, what the fuck is it? Egyptian sausage pie with cream cheese? You should send me a good recipe. It's okay if it's in Arabic, too. And just so you guys know, I will try to have it. Oh. I love making random foods, just so you guys know. Should we play, I don't want a game. Or we can just keep chatting. I'll game tomorrow. We'll game all weekend, chat. All weekend. Oh. What is all of your guys' favorite foods? I haven't made anything, like, good for the winter yet. Besides soups. All I make is soups in the winter. I should make other stuff. I know. I know. I'm working on it. But, oh, it sounds so good. The only problem with these little Tootsie Pop things, this is like the most perfect one too. It hasn't had any like crusty bits on it. And it's been so even. One of my friends used to work as a chef at a pie restaurant. I can ask him. Oh, I'm so excited! Yes, give me more food. I really like Persian food. It's so good. I get a lot of Afghani food when I volunteer and stuff. They give me like sweets when I teach because a lot of my students are from Afghanistan or Sudan. The Sudanese students I have, they just give me like American stuff. And I'm like, I want to try good food, but they just kind of say, no. And it's so sad. I think, hold up. I don't know. I thought I had it written down. I accidentally took the dictionary from my work, and I feel bad about it. I have to take it back. I was just reading it, and I like put it in my bag on accident. Yeah, their food is so good. I tried it once before, and it was amazing. I still remade it. I still remember how it tastes. Ah, man. I think the best food I ever made was this like onion ramen I made. And I've been trying to replicate the recipe ever since. But it was a ramen that I slow cooked for, I think it was like 3 or 4 hours. And then I put like wine in it too. It was so good. It was like a French onion soup ramen. It was like the best thing I ever made in my life. And every time I've tried to make it again, I can't. Like it had like this really good miso that they don't make anymore. It makes me sad. I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, give food, give. Gip. Hmm. Caddick says, oh, but to be fair, I was indeed a passive aggressive, and I would get mini revenges on people for past stuff without them remembering about it. But I always gave people many chances to change over the years. This is so evil! Over the years, and I always forgave them. But after years of abuse, I couldn't handle it anymore. People think that because I wasn't screaming at them or being confrontational, that meant that I was okay with it, even though I always told people to stop. Yo, that's why I just leave people. It's like I get the idea to be evil, and I'm like, if I stay here, I'm gonna become horrible to them, and I will destroy their fucking lives. Not intentionally, it's just like when you have someone who resents you or like they're upset with you, it just kind of seeps into everything. And I'm like I don't like to say empath because that sounds really weird, but I can tell when people don't like me or they're like really off with me. So I'm just like, why would I want to spend my time here? Because it makes me not trust people. So I'm just like, bye. I'm not saying you're evil, chaotic, but that's devious fucking shit. I I don't think I ever did a lot of that when I was younger. I don't think I ever really did anything like that. I've never been vengeful. I just fucking leave. I'm like, I'm not gonna have you in my life anymore. And I don't think I've ever actually had like a revenge thing that I've done to someone. I've just been like, leave me alone. And then people think I'm doing like this revenge shit to them, and I'm like, no, I don't even think about you anymore. Like, go away. Tommy says, but I'm gonna say that we have the best food ever because it's a true thing. I've heard Egyptian food is really, really good. I haven't had a lot of it though, because I don't know a lot of people from Egypt. I've had Lebanese food, Greek food, Turkish food, stuff from Turkmenistan too. Really good, really good. Persian food. I've made Saudi food and Gulf food, but that's like I've made that on stream. Tommy says the only bad thing about that is if you couldn't handle it after a while, you're gonna explode like an atomic bomb. Yeah, Tommy, you are right. You are right. You are right. For me, if I find myself like wanting to be devious towards people, I leave their lives. I'm like, I will not have you in my life at all because I just can't have a productive relationship with you. And that's why a lot of people from my past are no longer in my life because it's like I can feel that I'm not going to be a good person around you anymore. So I'm just going to boot, scoot, and boogie out of here. Or else I'm going to fuck up both of our lives. Let's go. mm. But I'm also really confrontational. Ooh, now Josie, you have to try a kofta and molokhai and shakshuka? Shakshuka? Oh, they're so fucking good. Okay, okay, hold up, hold up. Yes, we're getting good recipes for winter time. Middle Eastern food is really good in the winter. Mm. Kofta? I think I've had some stuff similar to this before. I think I'm gonna make it with a lamb if I do it. Uh, Chaotic says, I agree. Chaotic, have you exploded on someone before? It's okay if you have. Egyptian spinach. Hmm. All right. Hmm. Is it spinach or is it like a different type of spinach? Oh, it's a different type of plant. I might have to go someplace. Yeah. Tommy says, yeah, kofta is in Lebanon and Syria too, but every country does it their different way. Oh yeah. The hard thing is getting like the greens that I need. Even I work at a lot of different garden places, and it's hard to get good greens from other countries unless you go to like a specific store. But we don't have any Egyptian stores or a lot of Middle Eastern stores here in Nebraska. It's sad. Maybe I could do shakshuka. This is from Tunis. Should I get an Egypt-specific recipe? Oh, it requires a lot of tomatoes. I could do that. Shakshuka is so simple, but so good. It looks good. It says onion, green bell peppers, garlics. Okay. Coriander, cumin, paprika. Good. I have all of that. Oh, 6 tomatoes. I have tomatoes that are like ready to go. It helps if your fresh tomatoes are soft and almost overripe. Perfect. I got a couple of those. And 6 raw eggs for this recipe. I think I might make this. Oh, this is it's similar to that I think I made something no, we do it the same way as Denise, so it's okay. Oh, I started doing it too. Bruh. I've been listening to like more Arabic music and stuff. And don't people say Tunis instead of Tunisia? So now when I read Tunisia, I say Tunis. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I might make that one. That looks really good. There's like an Italian thing that's very similar. Oh, Jesus. Maybe I should watch like Arabic like cooking channels. I have been doing that on TikTok. It's actually really nice. It makes me upset how good it is. But it's hard for me because if I watch the YouTube videos, I just fall asleep. Because it's like so soothing. It's like they're cooking. Let's see. Tommy says, and we have a dish called moussaka, and it has tomato sauce, potatoes, eggplant, pepper, and onion. It is also very delicious. Ooh. Okay. I think I made like a Lebanese eggplant dish, but I can't remember what it's called. It's a lasagna. Lasagna. Oh, that looks good. Oh my god, it looks good. This reminds me of something that my grandpa used to make all the time. My grandpa was really obsessed with like Middle Eastern food, by the way, but he called it Jewish food because when he went to Israel, because I've talked about this before, my family was like Zionist or whatever. But when he went to Israel, he had a ton of Middle Eastern food, and when he came back home, he made it all the time. So this is something that he actually made. Like minus the meat, but oh my god. Let's see. 1 second, chaotic. I want to make sure this is like the same. No, it is the same. This is gonna be so nostalgic for me. I'm gonna make that one too. Are you talking about Tobola or Baba Ganoush? I think it might be Tobola. Let me see. 1 second. 1 second, chaotic. God, I love looking at recipes. This is so good. No, it's okay, chaotic. I just wanted to be sure I'm getting the recipes all like lined up. Chaotic said, I did explode on a few people a few times, but I always try to control myself, even on those situations. It's stressful to deal with people. One of the reasons I unconsciously decided to isolate myself. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it can be hard. I don't know. I think that's something that, I guess you're right. It is like a hard part of yourself to talk about. So I'm not going to push you, or try to pressure you into anything about it. I I don't know. I'm kind of like I self-isolated for a while because I didn't want to, especially when a lot of my like relatives passed away and stuff, not just to like I'm not trying to be like, but it's for different reasons. Like, yeah. So I understand what it's like to self-isolate and stuff. I don't know. It's cuz like most of the time I self-isolated because large scale events would happen in my life and then no one would no one would talk to me about it or try to comfort me, and I would be upset because I'd be like, "Oh my god, this is a big thing," and like no one's even like, and people would know about it, but they wouldn't even be like, "Oh, like I'm sorry about this" or whatever. They just kind of ignored me, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, you know." So then I just kind of didn't really do things with people anymore. It was like, why do it, you know? So I get what you mean with the self isolation because I don't know, I have trust issues with people too. Tommy says it's hard to keep calm in front of this kind of people. It is. It is. Like when people are just not respecting you or like what you have going on, it makes life really hard. And also, I have had baba ganoush before. It is very good. I know it's actually baba ganoush, isn't it? Like, but people here in America say ganoush. It is so good. It is so good. I got your message now. Yep. It is really, really good. My grandpa made it a lot because my grandma would have them on a lot of like how do I put it like diets, and he really really liked it. I really liked it too, and we would only have it on Sabbath because Adventists have Sabbath. I know it's like a Jewish thing to have Sabbath too. Like I know, it's a part of Christianity. It's not Judaism, just so you know. But it's more culty. But it is really good. Mm. But yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean, chaotic. And I'm proud of you. You're really enjoying those lollipops. Yes, I am. They're so good. I need candy. I'm a very like sweets person. If I don't I used to not like sweets, but when I started working out again, I got really into it, and now I just have it all the time. Mm. They're addictive. Mm. It's just so good. Mm. Thank you. You're very understanding. Yo, we have similar problems, but we address them differently. So I get it. Mm. Mm. Wait, are you serious, Tommy? Let me like fix this. I keep like dragging it down. Mm. Mm. Tommy says, "Oh, one of the weird things I recently discovered and feel like sharing here is that I found out in Turkey they play an Egyptian song about elections at weddings, and it's hilarious." Oh, it's so fucking gross. Turkey's really interesting. They have a lot of like weird history. I think I'm really interested in what happened in like Constantinople. Constantinople. And how it changed into changed hands and leadership so many times. But Turkey has a really, really rich not agricultural, holy shit, archaeology scene. Holy fucking shit. Which is really cool. IMO. So I want to go there, and there's a couple of sites that I want to go to when I go there. Oh, and I met this dude he's a professor here in Omaha. Anyways, not in Omaha, like in Lincoln or whatever, but he did a lot of dig stuff there, and he was really into it. Chaotic says, anyways, I gotta go sleep. Bye. Good night, good night. By the way, my mom is right by my side, and she asked me, told you that you're beautiful. Thank you, thank you. That is very sweet. My heart is warm. That is very kind. I like that. Tell her that she's beautiful too, because that was a nice thing to say. Tommy says, yeah, I found out about that and it made me laugh so hard. Like they like it because the song has the vibe that makes you want to dance. That's how I feel when I have to like work Persian weddings, you know? Because I can't speak Farsi. I can't. Or Persian. So I just kind of sit there and I'm like, and I mess it up so bad. Like I understand like the Arabic greetings and some of the Arab like words in there, but I can only understand like a couple words in a paragraph or like in a whole conversation. So I just sit there and I'm like, yeah. But yeah. Oh, I need to plug my phone in really quick. It's gonna die. I'll be right back. I'm not leaving yet. How soon are you? I'll eat it. Okay, it has returned. I am so freaking cold. Yeah. The dancing is fucking wild though. I'm not good at dancing at all because in the religion I grew up in, people were not allowed to dance like at all. So it was against the religion to dance. So I can dance if it's choreographed, but like dancing with other people in like a big group makes me really not like nervous, but I'm not great. The Hammy says Farsi is so hard. They have the same letters and the same typing, but it's so different, and I can't understand it or speak it. Same. 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 I just sit there and I'm like, yeah. Because when people speak in Arabic around me, I'm just like, uh-huh. Yeah, no, I get it. And I just kind of go like I'm just not good at it. But then when they start speaking in Farsi, I'm just like, whoop, I just smile and nod. So at a venue that I do weddings, I like work out there sometimes. Um I'll just pick up shifts if they need. They'll have me work the Arabic or the Spanish speaking weddings because I'm not fluent, but I understand enough to have conversations. And they thought Farsi was Arabic. So I sat there and I was like, yeah. Oh, I can't dance because my body just can't do it. I'm not flexible at all. I'm okay with my flexibility. I'm just, dancing is really awkward. You know, like the line dancing that people do? There's like this, Indian dancing that I've seen a lot of. It starts with like a G. Ligar or something. What is the Indian pronunciation? That's the no. Is it with a D? A G? Yeah. Dancing styles. Yeah, let's see. Ah, Bangra. Bangra. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, something just for your knowledge, in Arabic we don't say yeah, we say ah instead. That is true. You do. You do. Isn't that like a Egyptian thing too? Instead of being like nam, nam. I feel like that's really long, you know? Just nam. I say that a lot. Just like nam, nam, nam. Just to annoy Andrew. Because he thinks I want to eat something. I should learn more Egyptian Arabic. I think it can be more fun. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can, honestly. There is a lot more Egyptian Arabic media than other Arabic media. So in music, there's a ton of Egyptian or Levantine. Movies is Egyptian or Levantine, you know? Yeah, it's Egyptian. In the Egyptian dialect, you can notice that we use some shorter words to make it easier. You do. You do, you do. A lot. I have to start up again. I took a little bit of a break for, I think it's been like a week because I haven't been able to like with my class stuff, it's been so intense, but I'm hopping back on it again. I just really couldn't because I had so much homework. I've been going to bed at like 2 a.m. It's been rough. Food's ready. Oh, I guess it's time for me to go. I guess it's time for me to go now. Oh, I'm hungry. I hope it tastes. I hope it tastes good. He made a sandwich thing. Tommy says, yeah, because in Egypt we make the best movies and the best TV shows in the Middle East, and also songs. That's why there's a lot of them. You guys do. It's really good. Yeah, big up to the song. I know yesterday I was really worried about my mic, so I had to go quick. I had to go help my little mans. Uh. Ah, gosh damn. Anyways, I do have to go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. And I'm going to try to make some of these recipes. I'm going to post all the links in my Discord again. I keep forgetting to do it for the past couple days. I know, I've been bad at it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And, my goodness. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. So, I don't know. I guess that's that. Sleep well, stay safe, and stay alive. And thanks.